Today we are in the Cascade Mountains in British Columbia, and we're going to be hiking and scrambling climbing Needle Peak. It is currently about 26 degrees and we're hiking through the first part, which is a heavily forested section. The visibility so far is not bad. There's some wildfires going on in the mountains right now. The smoke was fairly heavy down in the Fraser Valley, but up here it's surprisingly good up the Coquihalla already. So we're pretty keen. And here's what we got going on ahead of us. This first forested section is pretty steep for the first couple kilometers. And then we're going to come out of a forest section and it's going to flatten out before the scramble starts. And I know you won't be able to see them, but we do have some cousins of the black-capped chickadee up here. And they are mountain chickadees. Yeah, they do look pretty similar. Darker? Yeah, and their caps are not quite as black.
Switchbacks.
Yeah. One thing I've learned from Steph and her practical experience with hiking and having more background in mountain things than me is not to stretch out too much when you walk. If you keep your weight under your shoulders and your knees under your shoulders when you stride, you're significantly more efficient and you waste significantly less energy. I just heard something. So wildlife in the Coquihalla area of the Cascades does include animals like black bears, mountain goats, wolves, mountain lions, elk, other animals like that. Not expecting to see any of those big predators today here, but you never know. Always best to be prepared. From this view you can start getting kind of a few different viewpoints of different areas, and if you kind of look through this little hole here, you can see that huge bare exposed area over there. That's Yak Peak. We hiked that a couple of years ago. Couldn't summit. There was a little bit of a lot of snowy cornices up there, but maybe in the future. But for now, forget Yak. Back to Needle. Up we go. Oh man, that doesn't get any better.
Or you drink mine first, I'll have to carry less.
So when we scrambled Yak Peak a couple of years ago, you start way down there, you kind of follow the bush line up, and then there's some rocky scree that takes you kind of around that whole exposed section, and then you kind of follow it right along the edge of the exposed section. There's a saddle kind of at the back, and then you end up summiting right at the top here, which is what we couldn't do because of all the exposed snow and ice cornices. Not that long ago, a couple people got rescued who were climbing up the exposed face with gear, obviously, but I think somebody got hurt and they ended up having to get rescued. So just a reminder of needing to be careful and prepared and wary. So elevation gain on Needle is just under 900 meters, I think, which is around 3,000 feet. So far we've done just under 300 of the 850, 900 meters. So just trying to pace ourselves. And that is Needle Peak, where we're headed. So to get to Flatiron, we have to get through this bush section here, and it's a fairly steep incline all the way up to that rocky ridge up there. We got to come down, and there's a bit of a ridge walk past that, eventually getting to Flatiron, and then basically ridge walk and scramble. Got some climbing sections to do, and eventually hopefully get to the peak up there. Steph encountered a snowstorm one time, and she had to hide out from the weather up in there. Weather can turn pretty fast up in the mountains. Needle Peak. That's Marcor. And then, of course, that is Yak. Way over there, 3 peaks are Vicuña, Guanaco, and Alpaca, I believe. And then way far off, visibility's really good, but that's really far away. I believe is Mount Baker in Washington State. There we have Flatiron. Looks like this whole hike was a shortcut, in fact. A shortcut to what, you might ask? Mushrooms. This right here is one of the best smelling trees on the planet. As weird as that sounds, it's just an amazing smell. You can only smell it really up in the mountains. For me, that is the smell of the mountains. So the last time Steph and I were hiking here, this whole area was covered in snow. So big difference between hiking here in August versus hiking here in May. And Steph kind of mentioned from her times spent hiking, scrambling here, this is some of the best visibility she's seen in a long time. I mean, you can see Mount Baker, snowy tops there over in Washington pretty well. All right, we got approximately 1,000 meters to the peak. Flatiron is 1.5k over there, and we've come about 3.3k since the parking lot.
My watch says 4.7 actually.
Ah,
Go figure.
4.7. We've come farther than we thought. And of course, there's no maintenance for the routes beyond this to Flatiron or to Needle. It's not gonna stop us.
Want to do Needle?
Yeah, let's do Needle. There's Flatiron over there. All right, break time, and we found ourselves a great stop area full of blueberries. So we're getting roughly level with Flatiron.
And that's Coquihalla, Jim Kelly in the middle, and then Allow on the left. And then that whole area is Allow Meadows.
Meadows.
It's gorgeous.
That's another nice hike to do. Okay, we're getting close to the first scramble here.
I think I'm gonna put these on my pack now.
Yeah, I'm gonna stash mine. It's major scrambling time. First scrambly section. Let me just have a little peek. Here we go.
It's just that first move I couldn't figure out.
Yeah. Vertical up this side. The only other way is if you can get to where I am right now, like right here. But that seems even worse.
Oh, I think I could maybe.
Yeah, because this is all pretty straightforward here.
Yeah, I'm
But
not worried about that.
yeah, this side there's really not much helping you. We're taking a little break here after a technical part. So Steph's feeling a little bit dizzy right now, and for that reason we are going to skip the next section of Needle. There's a big chained up section where you're just free climbing, so it's exposed and there's no backup if you fall or anything. So we're going to change our plans according kind of to conditions, and we are going to aim for Flatiron. Very, very difficult section here to do if you're not feeling well, so there's no need to risk that kind of stuff. Like where Steph is standing, she's basically got her feet just planted in a little crevice, and yeah, it's super exposed. 2 years ago there was somebody who did die on this climb, so we take this stuff seriously. pretty exposed section, and this gives a good view of where we were. There's the cairns kind of down there where we passed, and there's Flatiron right there. Great big exposed mountain ridge. So we're gonna do some technical moves to get back down off of this rock and see what we can do to get up there. Yep. Don't be dumb, Luke. Always have 3 points of contact.
To something that's not a rock sitting there. Right?
That's right. Downhill always seems to be more dangerous than uphill. Fun part about Flatiron is that you gotta go down to go up.
Ooh, that's a bit of a rock fall.
Yeah. Oh.
What?
That's a precipice. And we were most of the way up there. So additionally, Steph's done some hiking up in that area, the Allow Meadows. Pretty beautiful area as well. Now you can see where we were scrambling. There's a tiny little spot above that, which is actually a very steep chimney section to the summit of Needle. We did hike there a few years ago, and if you're interested, feel free to check out my YouTube channel and find that video in there as well. it is said there is a nice freshwater mountain tarn up ahead that we are hopefully going to find and cool ourselves down, because man, it is hot. Sweet mountain lake. Awesome. Oh, that is so refreshing. I heard Steph's favorite animal, the pika, squeaking up here somewhere. Kind of cool to see one. So we're finally sitting here in the shade at Flatiron at this beautiful mountain tarn. I think we've gained probably 750 meters of elevation, and the sun is beating down. It's been beating down all day, so we're just catching up here, getting rehydrated, having a snack, letting our boots air out, and on we go. There's pikas all over the place up here making noise, and we got a hoary marmot up there as well. Looks like it's just sunning itself. You can't see it, but it's right up there. Lots of cool critters up here where you wouldn't think there would be much life. There's lots. And we are gonna start hiking back down. See if we can keep our knees together in the process. Goodbye, great shade rock. We will miss you for sure. Alright, we're going to start hiking back down here, and we have to go quite a ways up there before we can hike way out of sight. Let's have a little look-see. Alright, so the journey continues. We're going to make our way through this kind of ridge line area. We're going to go back up that slope, and then we have to go all the way down there to that kind of basically edge, and then we're going to have our steep hike back down the other side. That little line of ants down there, that's where we're parked. But first, We gotta go up. I think today probably hit around 30 degrees Celsius. So since we went over to that mountain tarn over at Flatiron, the visibility has got significantly worse, and that would be probably from the wildfires out towards the Fraser Valley. I think there's at least one out of control right now, and yeah, it's clogging up the skies pretty good.
That rock looks set up there.
Yeah, there's definitely a few boulders at the top that could go. And we're back to the cairn. And now we begin the real descent. Steph, what do we have for elevation gain?
821.
821 meters as we begin our descent. All right, so for our descent, we are going to be going over that big rocky craggy area, then past to that second ridge, going to go down to that third ridge, and that's where we drop down. That's gonna do it for this one. Thanks for watching, and until next time, just remember, the mountain is always right. Oh, hello, yak. I'll get you again another time. Hi. We made it. Let's get a drink. Nice cold drink.